Newcastle United's future looks extremely scary. I'm not going to lie, I've looked at a bit of the reports, I've added a bit of my information in as well, because it seems as though Newcastle already have their set number of targets and their set main priorities for the summer, and I think they're going to make a massive impact on the club. So we'll be looking into that. But before I begin, if you are new here, please hit the subscribe and the like as well, it'd be greatly appreciated. So let's start. Sorry, for some reason it started there. Let's look at the priorities of Newcastle United. You need a goalkeeper, you need a centre back. In my opinion, you need a number 8/number 10 who can play in the attacking areas of the pitch, especially with Joe Willock. There was news today that he's going to Fulham for 25 million. Longstaff looks like he's going to be leaving for 15 million. You need to get that number 8/10 who can play in the attacking spaces. You need a right wing, I think that's set in stone, and you need a backup striker, a striker that can rotate with Isak. And I feel like you would be absolutely unstoppable if you got all of these done this summer, because you're thinking about depth. These players would add depth, but they'd also add quality and increase the floor of Newcastle United. So let us start with Espanyol goalkeeper Joan Garcia, and reports coming out today that he has agreed to join Newcastle United and his agent is now talking to the club to thrash out a deal. The move could be finalised in the next few days. And this is a source who works for Espanyol. So he's not just some Mickey Mouse source. He's somebody who obviously has links to the club. Whether this is completely true, we don't know. But Joan Garcia, Newcastle fans, if you were to get this guy, I know Trafford is a fantastic keeper and of course you guys are interested in him. But Joan Garcia, I'm telling you right now, he's going to be the best goalkeeper in the world in the next 5 years minimum. For now, he's one of the best in terms of young keepers. Everyone is like, okay, he's doing it for Espanyol. Can he come to a big club? This guy is going to be the very best goalkeeper in the world. And if you do not get this deal done, someone else will have the rewards of him. And if he's that interested in joining, as this is suggesting, I'm so jealous because I would take him at Arsenal. My club wanted to sign him last summer, but we didn't move for him. But now everybody knows about him. Everyone knows about his quality. And my word, is he a phenomenal keeper. And just look at this. The blue shows the games he's got man of the match in. This is for a team that are bottom of the table, close to relegation. This guy was thrown in the air on the final day of the season because he made 2 massive saves to keep Espanyol in the game. He single-handedly saved them. And you can't say that for any goalkeeper, for anyone that plays in the defence. To say that you can save a team just shows how much quality you have. I mean, he has been absolutely unstoppable in the net for Espanyol. That's the reality of things. And if we're looking at the stats here in more detail, the best attribute of Joan Garcia is his cross-claiming. And when I've watched Newcastle, this is not a dig at Pope, but he has this tendency to be a punch-first instead of claim-first goalkeeper, which means if balls come into the box near his goal, he'll go for the punch instead of going for the catch. Joan Garcia is very different. Raya is one of the best cross-claiming keepers in the world. Joan Garcia is up there as well in terms of if a ball comes into the box, Newcastle fans, your defenders could literally sit in a chair and just watch it come in because Joan Garcia will stand up and claim it. This guy is phenomenal. In terms of his goal kicks, really good accuracy, playing out from the back. I know Newcastle fans are a bit nervous with Pope when he plays out the back. You won't have that feeling with Joan Garcia. Very good. And in terms of save percentage, it is 75% per 90. That is absolutely ridiculous for a goalkeeper. Absolutely ridiculous to have that. The guy is phenomenal. And I mean, for 25 million, which his release clause is, you guys would be absolutely set. But let's move on to the centre-back position. And I think, for me, it has to be only one guy, and that's Marc Guéhi. For 45 million, which is what Crystal Palace won, obviously 1 year left on his contract, get this done. Can play left centre-half, can play right centre-half. Experienced, minutes played. Just look at this. We don't even need to talk too much about a player like Marc Guéhi because the minutes, the quality he provides, the leadership he provides, experience too, should be the unique selling point to this player. I mean, he's in the Premier League as well. It's just a match made in heaven if he can get this done. I know Zabani is linked. I know sort of other players are linked in the centre-half position, but he has to be your man. Let's now get on to the hashtag 8/10. Those players who can play in those pockets, those players who can boot a killer final ball, energetic. Newcastle, Xavi Simons has to be the guy. You know, when Alexander Isak was signed, a lot of people were unsure. You know, he hadn't scored that many goals in La Liga. He'd just been off the back of a 4-goal season. No big club, I put that in quotation marks because Newcastle were a massive club. Let's just say the big 6 wanted to take a punt on Isak. Newcastle did for a lot of money and they're reaping the reward. Xavi Simons would have a similar impact to Isak is now. I'm telling you this without a shadow of a doubt. You sign him in a team where you have Isak, Gordon, and the wing I'm going to talk about later in this video, with Bruno and Tonali, with Joelinton able to play games too. Mamma mia. Even thinking about that is just, this guy can play in the 8 and the 10. This guy has so much quality, and it's not even just like I'm sort of magicking this link out of the air. Fabrizio Romano, we're going to have a listen to what he said about Newcastle last year.
The club that asked, for example, for information on Xavi Simons was Newcastle to understand the situation of the player. But again, was few days ago, not months ago, and this is why Leipzig and Bayern remain the two favourites.
So this was 7 months into 2024. Yes, I'm aware of the mouth of the Tyne. You guys have told me he's a horrible, horrible outlet for Newcastle source and news. But this is Fabrizio Romano. This is actually what he said. He's just aggregating it. So you guys clearly had the interest in Simons, but it didn't materialise. So come back for him. I'm sorry, you have to come back for him. I'm even getting excited thinking about the ways Eddie Howe would be able to use him on the left, centre forward, 8, right wing. Versatility, pressing machine. You know how you guys like to play intensive football? Xavi Simons will fit that to a T. So much energy in his play. And he's available for 60 million. Chelsea, I'm sure Newcastle, one of the teams, Arsenal, United, Liverpool monitoring Xavi Simons, available this summer. This is what was said by Fabrizio a couple of months ago, and this is definitely the truth. This is definitely the truth. I mean, Xavi Simons needs to go to Newcastle. He really, really does. Look at those statistics. This season has been a subpar year for RB Leipzig, but he's still got 19 GA this season. Season before 23, season before 33. This guy is a goal and assist magnet. Need someone to create a goal out of nothing? He's your man. Need somebody to score a goal out of nothing? He's your man. I'm telling you, he is your man, Newcastle United. And say you aren't able to get someone like Xavi Simons, because obviously 60 million is a lot of money with the other priority positions you guys need to go for. El Khanous for 25 million, which is what he would be available, would be an absolutely ridiculous pull. Here in 23-24, I know that was just a season ago now, not this one that's gone past, but the season before when he was at Genk. The way his stats are distributed is very similar to Kevin De Bruyne. And I'm not saying he's the next Kevin De Bruyne, but I'm saying this kid has a lot of untapped potential. He was the best player in a struggling Leicester City side. But his passing ability, his weight of pass, his carrying skills, his ability of both feet is phenomenal. This is another player who's just waiting to explode. Somebody to take the hit and be like, we trust you, 25 million. We know Joelinton's going to be the starter, but if a game needs to be unlocked, we want you to come off the bench and impact it. El Khanous can do that. He's really, really good in the final third and in tight spaces. And I'm telling you, Newcastle fans, if you can't get Simons, this is a very, very adequate player who can also come in, do the job. And for the same price that Willock would be leaving, for me, it's a no-brainer. And there it is. 25 million is what that Leicester want from Sacha Tavalori, a very, very good source. So Newcastle, if you get that done. Whew. Now let's get on to the wing position. We don't even need to talk too much about it. Brian Mbeumo not too long ago was asked what his favourite stadium is. He said the Newcastle Stadium. He says he loves Newcastle. And I mean, this is just seems so made to happen for £50 million. I know United, Arsenal, Chelsea, whoever, everybody is interested in Mbeumo. But Newcastle, you just seem the perfect destination for him. It just makes sense. The season he's just had 20 goals this season. Eddie Howe in that front three. That's what I was trying to say. Imagine you got Mbeumo, Isak, Gordon, Simons, Bruno, Tonali. One of the best teams in the world. I'm actually being dead serious. With youth and experience in there. It's one of the best teams in the world. Just based on that front line and the midfield. The best. Really, really is. But let us get on to the striker position. And it seems as though Liam Delap is another player that you guys are interested to come in and be the sort of rotation with Isak and play with Isak. And you've put forward a pitch. Newcastle, United, Chelsea, Everton made a pitch to him. He'll make his choice this week. And if he was smart, he would choose Newcastle for sure. He would definitely do that. Champions League football, Carabao, FA. Just think about different minutes he could play. Isak can sometimes be injured. It's his chance to come in. Say Isak is not performing well, Delap can play. Isak can play off the left, Delap through the centre. This would be unstoppable. And I feel like he would really, really make an impact. But if you can't get a Delap, Jonathan David for free is available. He'd probably be asking for a lot of wages, but he's a quality player. A bagsman everywhere. He's gone 25 goals and 12 assists this season is ridiculous. And every season before that, except 21-22, he scored above 20 goals. you can guarantee when you bring this guy off the bench or play him, he's going to score or he's going to assist. And there's not many players you can say that in world football for. But anyway, let's look at this. 175 million if you get El Khanous instead of Simmons. That looks like a very, very solid summer. I don't know about you, but that looks like a really, really good summer. Or the other one, 210 million. Think about Willock going for 25, Longstaff for 15. Other players may also leave the door. Newcastle could look really, really good and unstoppable next season for sure if they get the profiles and players right, which I trust them to do. But anyway, that's it for now. Hope you have enjoyed, and on to next time. Peace.